Here with my man Novell Bell, a guy who taught me a lot of fighting techniques. Novell, you created ManUpStandup, unbelievable event. What brought you to create this event?
Well, I wanted to, showcase traditional martial arts. I respect MMA. There's a lot of hard work put into it. So I felt that, to bring up a different level of fighting, which is traditional martial arts, because as you know, a lot of traditional martial arts do forms and the weapon forms of that nature. So I wanted to showcase the fighting aspect of traditional martial arts.
So just curious, do you feel that a guy with traditional martial arts training might have an advantage over a guy that just trains MMA?
No, I'm going to be honest, because it's a different reality. Traditional martial arts, many of the tactics are trained for survival for the street. Now, if you're going to go in a cage, then you got to train for cage tactics. That's just common sense, dude. You can't just go in there and think you're going to just do stand-up. You got to be well-rounded in all areas of combat, from stand-up to ground, to chokeouts, to strangles, things of that nature.
Do you see any of your guys going in to MMA after this, from ManUpStandup?
Well, to be honest with you, Bruce, that's just my goal. That's my goal, to try to, raise the standards of traditional martial artists, to raise up the standards and the confidence within the practitioner to believe in themselves that they can change and adapt to that type of combat reality. And
tell us about this MMA game, or whatever it's called, that you're in, UFC. Tell us about it.
Well, UFC, like I said, I respect it.
They created like an action figure of you, and right?
Oh, you're talking about the PlayStation.
The PlayStation.
PlayStation Vita. Well, it's basically, I'm well-rounded. I have to admit, I learned some techniques from you. So they apply, ground techniques. Bagua, urban Bagua, my style deals with change. The concept or the principles of change, which is to be able to adapt to any situation. So if you go stand up to the ground, I apply certain Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques with my Bagua. You feel what I'm saying? If I hit the ground, then, I got to learn how to, defend myself on the ground, from the mount to side control, you know what I'm saying? Hip escape, things of that nature and whatnot. So I feel that you have to be well-rounded, no matter what. If you're a traditional guy anyway, you better be well-rounded if you go against an MMA practitioner or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner.
And this seems like one of the few venues where you could see a Kung Fu guy go against a kickboxer, or a Bagua guy go against a Muay Thai guy. How interesting is that for you?
Well, like I said, the whole goal is for these guys to get their feet wet, to be able to push away the theory and the textbook shit. You know what I'm saying? The whole idea is to get in there and, see what you can do after you've been hit or you've been rocked. Will you continue? Do you got the heart of a warrior? You feel what I'm saying? That's what, to me, that's what traditional martial art is all about. It's about being able to adapt to your opponent's tactics and be able to overcome his tactics.
As a martial artist, I know in MMA, nutrition is a very big factor. How important is nutrition for you as a martial artist and as a Sifu? And as a fight trainer?
Well, it's very important. I mean, I used to be overweight. When I was on the Iron Ring, I'll be honest, I was overweight. I used to eat a lot, go to BBQs and, Long Island iced teas and fried ribs and all.
McDonald's too?
McDonald's too. I'll be honest, and I realized the nutrition is very important because it helps your skill level. It helps your endurance level, your win level, which is basically your endurance. You have to be conditioned, dude. You can't just go and fight, even if you're not fighting in the ring. On the street, you got to be conditioned. If you can't last 30 seconds, come on, son. Let's be real. So you got to be conditioned. So to me, it's about fitness and longevity in martial arts.
Fitness and longevity. You heard it first. Sifu Novell, a.k.a. BT, the Black Taoist. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome.